So I set up the Katerk rotary tool with my Stuart McDonald jig, a couple of 1x1 engineering blocks, 90-degree square to my table, and we're using a runout gauge into my track over there. And the max runout I got was 1.5 thousandths of an inch. So that's pretty tight. Now my Dremel is significantly older, almost 20 years, and it had 3 inches of runout total in the same test setup. See if it goes to 160 under heavy load. So we use our same little block stop.
160 watt figure is often the maximum or peak power the tool can draw for short bursts.
Here, keep an eye that we're at 95 watts, 94 with nothing going on. There we go. With a significant pull, I got it up to 125 watts. I can't see pushing it any harder than that. So I went ahead and mounted a cut-saw burr on here, and I've got it hanging from a chain here from my roof. So we're gonna just see, I'm at number 4 speed. I'm gonna see if it'll just bog down into soft wood. Well, I would say that's a no. That did pretty good. If I'm just doing my normal light engraving, got some pretty good control. I think coming across the grain. Pen's quite comfortable. If you get right in there, you get some pretty good fine motor control. If you have the fine motor control, the pen is okay. I was right. I think it'd be nicer if it had a rubber grip. But all in all, pretty comfortable, and it did not bog, at least with a good bit on it. I'm not even going to bother testing the bits that came in the box, to be honest. They just aren't worth talking about. But took the nice cut saw. You can see that bit, and it did a... I really pressed it in there just to see if I could get any burning or anything like that. It never slowed down. It just kept cutting. So that's pretty impressive. Let's try it on some hardwood. What I grabbed here is a little piece of maple. It's pretty hard stuff. You can see even my table saw was burning as I was cutting it through on there to get the miters and stuff for a segmented bowl. So I'm still running it at the number 4 speed. I'm still using the hand mandrel, same cut saw burr. So I'm just do the same kind of burnout test. See if I could bog it down, and I could start a fire before I bog it. Just kept turning. See if I can do a nice line. Pretty impressed with the control. Now my normal process is these little swirls like that for my texture. A little fish scale pattern like that. And see that there? A little fish scale pattern. Dug right into that hole. Did start to burn a little bit. It's more the wood, but I put a lot of pressure on that trying to bog it down, and it kept going. So, and the line stayed nice and straight with my hand. I mean, that's for a hand carved line for me. That's nice and straight. Didn't have any wobble. Tool wasn't fighting me. Again, the handle is comfortable. It feels like a pen. The shape is really nice, and it's got a couple of spots where you can get some grip on it. Compared to the Dremel handle, it's quite a bit smaller in diameter. So I do like that ability. Probably if I was trying to like carve out something I'd written on here, it'd be much easier. But it is hard. So when you're holding it, you feel the little bit of vibration in your hand, which isn't terrible, but I'd still think it'd be nice to have a cushioned or a little vibration absorbing handle there. But so far it's handled that test just fine. I mean, I can push a nice heavy coarse bit right into hardwood or softwood, pretty comfortable, and the loudness is considerably lower than my Dremel, so it is a quieter tool. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably leave it hanging just like this over here, and I'm gonna put it to the test with the longer session. I'm going to get down there and actually use, you know, a big bowl that I've normally texture a carved detail ringer on the side, and we'll use the tools and see if hanging like that with that shaft and that size thing is any better than what I was already using, and I'll get back to you.
If we actually take a look at what it shows on Amazon, it shows the tool right now is at $89.99. Comes with 155 pieces. It has the 3,500 RPM or 35,000 RPM, excuse me, and it'll roll through all the different, you know, marketing fluff and stuff like that. But you compare this with the flex shaft that this one comes with. So it has the full flex shaft to the Dremel, and it's, you know, it's over $100 less. Now I don't have this exact Dremel, so I can't compare it side by side, you know, directly. And it has a couple of different accessories. So it's got like a router guide on, then a couple other like a right angle drill bit and stuff like that. So there's some better stuff. But if you look at the actual pen that comes with the Dremel, the flex shaft, it does have that soft rubber grip. And I don't know if you'd be using the rest of these other parts over there. All of the accessories, in my opinion, again, most of these accessories are just kind of fluff. They say, oh, you're getting 155 pieces. You're not going to use most of them. You'll buy specific things for specific applications. So when we're just comparing, you know, this 155 pieces thing here, I don't necessarily think that that's should contribute to your decision making. The smaller handle and the little grips there, I found to be very nice on this flex shaft compared to my Dremel flex shaft. But I did like the Dremel flex shaft's softer grip, for my personal opinion. So in summary, I would say that the Katerk's tool is a good value when compared to the same style of kit from Dremel. But in all reality, the tool was free to me, so I got to use it, abuse it, passed all my tests, and showed to have really good Runout and a nice, easy hand control with the pen. So I'd give it a recommend. There's a lot of kits out there that are cheaper, and there's a lot of kits that are more expensive. So you really got to do probably a little more research, but hopefully this video helped you at least evaluate that specific tool and come up with an idea whether or not it's right for you. Hey, until next time, guys, get out to the shop and turn something.
Get out there and turn something.